Okay, so we're back with we're here with our first proper episode after our little intro last week.
Yeah.
First of all, Fiona, what are you drinking this week?
This week, well, because of our theme this week, I'm drinking a thing called Soul Balm. It's
Oh,
a yogi tea. It's Soul Balm. I love it actually. It's got a kind of a like a vanilla-y taste. I
mhm.
couldn't tell you what's in it, but it's really nice. How about you? Oh, it's yogi, so I've got the little label message as well. What have you got today?
Well, I had one of the yogi ones last week. I'm actually on in English, I guess we maybe call it horsehair. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
It's
don't
it's really
know.
popular here in Spain,
I know I
and
used to drink it. I've got no idea what it's called in English.
yeah, but I have at least one a day because I think it's good for me. So yeah, that's what I'm on.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called in English. I don't know if I've ever known, in fact. I used to drink it in Spain as well. It's
Yeah,
like sticks, isn't it?
yeah, and I don't think it's something that you can get in the UK. At least I've not seen it. So if you're
No.
in the UK and you do find it, then leave us a comment in the
Yeah, just know. And tell me what it's called because I could buy some.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I've got a
so
different mug today. You know, last week I had the orange one like our little logo, but this week I brought my friend. I've
Mhm.
got can you see that? Okay.
Yep, little octopus dude.
He's an octopus, yeah, and one of his tentacles is the handle, and I just love it. It's a slightly bigger mug. I was going to bring another one. I'll bring that one next week. Never mind.
I mean, I'm gonna stick with my big mug. I do have other mugs, but like I said
No,
last week, this is kind of
I'm
my
gonna
go-to.
alternate between three. I've got the orange one I had last week. I've got this one, and then I've got one that I'll bring next time.
So you mentioned there that you're drinking Soul Balm because it ties in with the
Yes.
theme this week. So remind us again, what are we chatting about?
Well, this week we're talking about well-being. Some weeks we'll be talking about well-being, but with slightly different focuses each time. We may repeat some focuses just because with it being autumn, we decided we'd be talking about well-being, sort of moving into in winter, going from the colder months to the from the well, depends where you are. Southern hemisphere, colder to warmer for us, warmer to colder. So yeah, talking about well-being when the seasons are changing. Uh, do you do anything in particular? Have you got any?
Well, I mean, both for my physical and mental well-being, something that's really important to me is getting out the house first thing in the morning. I mean, I'm really
Yeah.
lucky that I've got a lot of flexibility with my timetable.
Uh-huh.
So I try and schedule things generally so I don't start before 11 a.m. And that means I can get up at 7, 7:30, go for a nice long walk, come home, do a workout as well with my
Yeah.
new weights. And I really notice the difference
Yeah. Yeah.
if I don't go out. I feel a lot less productive,
Yeah.
a lot less concentrated, I guess. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I do weights as well. I do kettlebell. I'm not going to lift mine up because I've hurt my elbow at the moment, but kettlebell and when I was doing kettlebell in the garden this summer with gloves because on a warmer day it's very easy for the thing to slide. Yeah. Um, and regarding early morning, when I'm in the classroom, which I am about 10 months of the year, I have a 35 to 40 minute walk
Hmm.
to work. That's my regular classroom. Sometimes it's a little bit further in summer. And as far as possible, I do walk. I actually take photos that I put on Instagram quite often. I've got a beautiful walk 'cause I live in Oxford. I can either walk along the towpath, or if the weather is bad, it's been raining, it's flooded or anything, I go straight down Cowley Road, which is not particularly pretty, but then I can cut across Christchurch Meadow. And so
No.
I often add an extra 5 minutes, leave 5 minutes early. So I can not just walk, but when I get to Christchurch Meadow or some point in the towpath, just stop and listen to the bird song and
Yeah.
notice stuff. It's so beautiful. And because it's a river, it's different every day. So
Hmm. Hmm.
the way the sun is shining on the like yesterday I was looking at the sun reflecting on the river. And it's just the most amazing way to, I don't know, maybe it's the same for you. Sometimes in the morning, I've got a lot of like, I don't know what you call it, like mind chatter, like
Hmm.
worries about the day or stuff that's sort of irritating you that you've got to deal with later in the week or whatever it is. And I don't like taking that into the classroom. So this walk, the first thing in the morning, it really just clears all that out. And then I walk into the room and I'm like, morning! The big cheesy grin as usual.
Yeah. I mean, I think as well for me, perhaps not so much kind of the stresses of the week and things, but I find getting out is a really good way to plan.
Ah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
particularly if I've got to plan a conference session or something, just going out and
Yeah, yeah.
walking and
Yeah, that's true.
I think
No,
definitely,
sometimes even
yeah.
my class plan will sometimes change en route to work. Yes, as I'm walking, I'm suddenly going, oh, wait a minute, that might work better.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think it's very important, and I just to have that time. I hate it when it's really, really wet and raining in the morning, and I can't do that walk because sometimes I got my laptop in my backpack and whatever. And those days, and this is a secret, we have a photocopy room. So where I work, I've got my office and then two classrooms, and at kind of the end of the row, there's a photocopy room that nobody walks past, or very few people walk past. And I sometimes go in there and have a little dance when
no,
I get there. And when I'm doing photocopies, which is very rare actually, but it's got a scanner as well, I'm more likely to be doing scanning. Um, I'll have a little bop in there,
yeah,
particularly if I haven't been able to do my walk to get in the morning. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but that is a secret. Please don't tell my students.
We'll get some hidden video
I
footage.
know my students turning up 10 minutes early to go. Let's see if we catch her in the act.
Mhm. Yeah. I
How
mean,
many steps do you do a day? I mean, because you work from home mostly, so
yeah, I
do
mean,
you
I
that?
don't count my steps. I don't have any sort of tracker, but if I go
Mm.
out in the morning, I'll go out for an hour, hour and a half walk, and then come
Okay,
back
yeah.
and do like 30 minutes working out on a good
Mm.
day. Um, so yeah, and then like you say, I'm home then for the day, but I do have a standing desk, so I'm not just sitting for the whole.
Yeah, I've got a standing desk that I'm sitting at.
I mean, I'm sitting at mine at the moment, but I
Yeah,
always
this is
teach standing up.
so
So.
yeah, when I'm doing conference talks, I'm frequently standing. Online ones, I mean. Obviously, I'm standing in the face-to-face ones, but the online ones, I often extend this thing up. And
Mhm,
so, if you watch me doing any webinar stuff, I've got two of those in November. You'll see me kind of like bopping around as well.
mhm.
Yeah, and I just wondered. I mean, I've got the Fitbit thing, and I do keep track of it, but I've only got the Fitbit because I wanted to track my sleep, not my steps.
And I think
And we're
sleep.
not talking about sleep
No,
today.
we're
We're
going to
talking about
come
sleep
back to it
another
because,
day.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely
Yeah.
quite a big topic. But going back to
Yeah.
what you're saying about dancing, because,
Mm.
lots of people have lots of different hobbies that
Yeah.
help to keep them kind of energized and both physically healthy and also mentally
Mm.
healthy. Um, so, yeah, I think dancing can be quite a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I find I mean this comes from the pandemic and we had a an online chat in the pandemic, Sig Tweet Meet thing. Um I started hula hoop in the
Mm,
pandemic when I couldn't go out. And there were some of us on um Twitter as it was that we used to have like hula hoop chats, ELT hula hoop or whatever it was. Um and I still have that. And I obviously don't hula hoop in the garden as much as I used to. But
mhm,
when the weather's bad, quite often in an evening at the end of the day, I've got something on TV. And this is going to sound strange, but if you live in a country with commercial breaks, adverts, it's a good idea to stand, watch a program, hoop in one way around, and then when the adverts come on, you just change direction because the adverts are usually on like every, I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So you don't need to watch. You don't need to keep a timer on. Just,
mhm.
stick the something mindless on television. and do hula hooping. And also, if you do a hula hoop thing, um, it's quite tricky to do at first, and it's quite demotivating. It's a bit like learning a language. It's regularity and not giving up.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, I suppose riding a bike is the same. All of a sudden, you just find how to do it. And then you can just, I mean, I almost never drop the hoop now. If I do, it's because I bumped into a bit of furniture. I moved a chair and accidentally bumped.
Nice.
So yeah, hula hoop in winter, hula hoop. And I've joined a gym. We'll see how that one goes. I'll report back on that later.
Well, talking about reporting back and linking to what you were saying about kind of losing the skills that you don't use. So my plan for this winter is I'm going to try and crochet myself something. Um, I've done crochet in the past
Ah,
and I was relatively
yeah,
good at it, but then I stopped.
yeah,
And it, like you say, languages, hobbies, activities,
yeah.
the skills are still there, but when you start again, it's that annoying moment of I used to be good at this.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I was talking to a friend, a colleague yesterday, and she was saying about knitting. She wants to go back to knitting this winter. I think it's important to have a creative hobby,
Mhm.
particularly through the winter months, I think, because it can be frustrating not being able to go out. And yeah, I write stories. I'll talk about that another day because it's not particularly good for well-being. It's often a like if it's competitive, you've got to finish by a certain time and submit, and so it's not particularly relaxing. But I paint. I don't paint very well, but I paint.
I mean, I
But
love every time we chat, I love seeing those pictures behind you, the ones
which
that
ones have I
you've got,
got?
the two that are on the
Oh
shelf there,
yeah,
the
those are
cookie
the
one,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think I like doing about painting. Um, it's not so much the painting that I get at the end, the thing. It's the process. I love the learning. Those ones behind me there are yeah, there's two different techniques. Well, there's one there that you can't see, but and I'm not going to go and move it, but there's two different techniques now. There's pouring and swiping. But
Mhm.
at the moment I've been doing well, I paint journal. That's the first thing, which is I'll show you that another day as well. But that's like keeping a journal but painting it instead of writing it. But at the moment I can show you this because I set it up. I'm trying to teach myself to do this technique involving layering stuff. And it doesn't look great at the beginning, but there's different stages of the process. I'm really enjoying the learning. So let me just flash something at the camera here a second. So I've been learning how to do my own collage papers,
Oh,
just with white
that's
tissue
really
paper
snazzy.
and stamping stuff. I've got a whole load over there on the table, just things that it can be a fingerprint, it can be a brush, but it can be bits of old sponge or I don't know, the lids, painting around a lid and stamping and then some making that. And then let me put my tea down to show you. And then this is one of the canvases. This is another, they're about 3 days into a 5-day process, these two. They don't look great, but the process involved was using the on a color wheel where you've got red and green or yellow and purple. Or this one, which one was this? I can't even remember which one this was. This was the blue and orange one. Um, and you start just by making a mess, basically. Then you make your collage papers, stick them on, and then there's going to be more layers. And I'm finding the whole process extremely relaxing. Um, I was saying to you before we started recording about some of the paintings, the waxing process. If you use watercolor, quick flash, I'm not interested in sharing my painting that much, but yeah, the waxing process as well. You don't have to think about it. It's repetitive, and it's a bit like doing like running on a treadmill in a sense that it kind of helps clear everything out of your head as well. So it's the different stages of the process.
Mm.
It's
It's
good.
it's interesting you mentioned there about the kind of process because I think, and I don't know whether this is because of social media as well, that we see a lot of products.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and, it's when you do take up a new hobby, whether it's
Mm.
something that you've done before or something you're completely new at, I think there is this frustration that you don't reach a good level quickly. And I think probably our students often feel that with learning languages as well.
Yeah,
Why can't I say this and do this? And
yeah.
mm,
But I think it's a bit like, when we teach writing skills and we've got you've got the process and the product approaches. I think it's a wee bit like that. I think as teachers, particularly if we've been, if we're from the more learner-centered, holistic kind of school of thought, less transmissive, so on and so forth. Um, I think as teachers we go, oh yeah, yeah, process, that's the one process. Don't worry so much about product. That's more like evaluation rather than or mastery and performance and all that stuff. Um, and then we transfer that to our own free time.
mhm,
And there's a lot of people suddenly they sort of forget the process aspect and focus on the product.
yeah.
And I was having a chat this summer. It was actually two of my friends, two male friends, but one particular guy who's a colleague of mine, and we went for a long walk together. And I was asking him, I didn't know him very well, so we're good mates now that I was asking him if he had any hobbies and interests, and just as we do with our students, and he was saying, oh no, he didn't really do hobbies as such, maybe sports, but not, like creative hobbies. And I was saying, well, I find that I get a lot from them. And he was saying that he felt, and other people watching this could it'd be interesting to see in comments if you agree, that he felt that as a man, now this chap is about the same age as me, so this could be generational as well. I don't know. But he said that as a man, he felt that he had been encouraged as a boy to do like goal orientated activities, like sports where you get goals literally, and the sort of the idea of doing activities where achievements are measurable.
Mhm.
And that's why he doesn't have any sort of creative type hobbies. And having had that conversation with him, I had a similar one with another male friend, and he said exactly the same. So I don't know, what do you think about that? Do you think that, well, you're married, maybe? Mind you, you married to a creative guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I'd say probably actually he's more creative than me. In many ways, like he's done a lot of origami projects.
Right.
He's very creative as well in the kitchen, in, trying out new, not necessarily new recipes, but he's very interested in mixology and those sorts of things. So he'll quite
Okay.
often be making juices and cordials and different things.
But don't you think they think this again, I'm probably being a bit controversial. Do you think that in cooking, because quite a lot of men do enjoy, I should probably not go down the gender route here. Never mind. Too late. Done it. Um, yeah, it's not gender. I'm just thinking about the way that we have been taught in the past. I'll be interested. I think it's changing now. Um, cooking, it's a slightly more instant, it's a shorter term between starting the creation process
True.
and eating, and you can share with somebody else. They're going to go, oh, you can
Mm,
tell from the face, the physical reaction, if it's good or not.
mm.
Whereas something like a painting or a story, or I don't know, if you're a singer-songwriter, I don't know, it's far more taste um based. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Sorry, we're supposed to be talking about well-being.
It's all right. I mean, we've kind of
I just mean
moved.
that yeah, sorry, we were talking about the process. I do find that
Yeah.
it's the process, not the, but I think if you're goal orientated, certain hobbies might not be quite as good for the well-being. I don't know. Be interested to see comments on this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments. What are your hobbies? Are you
Yeah.
more goal orientated? Are you more interested in the process? Um,
Yeah, or if you find creative ones frustrating rather than relaxing. I find them relaxing. Apart from, as I say, the short story writing, but that's because it's competitive, literally.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I enjoy the process and I do find that relaxing, but maybe some people don't. Maybe they find
Mhm.
it frustrating. Yeah.
Well, uh, I'm almost out of tea, unfortunately.
Yeah, my tea's going cold. I've hardly drunk it. And you know what? I haven't even had a biscuit.
No biscuits this week.
Biscuits are optional, as we said, I think. Too busy
Fantastic.
chatting.
Well, we're going to come back a little bit to this idea of hobbies next week because we're going to be chatting a little bit about authenticity and bringing our
Yeah.
authentic selves into the classrooms. So,
Hmm.
in the meantime, pop the kettle on, get involved in our cup of conversation
Yeah.
by leaving a comment below with your thoughts or let us know about any other topics that you'd like us to chat about. See you next week, Fee.
See you next week. Bye.